Kansas City has some of the most charming homes that I've ever seen, and it's really hard to beat the Waldo neighborhood. Today, we're gonna see 3 homes in Waldo, ending at this beautiful Tudor home right behind me. To start our tour of the Waldo neighborhood, I wanna show you a main road. This is Ward Parkway, right behind me. Not this road, but behind me here, you can see it's a busier road out there. And this is Ward Parkway Plaza. And this house right behind me is below 300,000. Remember I said that things are affordable still in Waldo? It's cute, it's affordable, it's gonna be a little bit older, so you're gonna want to, like older homes, but let's go inside because this house is on the market right now and it can be had for pretty cheap depending on where you're coming from. Now, if you're looking to move into Kansas City or Waldo neighborhoods or any neighborhood, give us a call. 8164-MOVE-KC is our number. Myself or one of our teammates will be answering all the questions that you have of moving to Kansas City. But first, one thing I want to point out is the Waldo neighborhood is going to be kind of a front porch type of community. If you have a front porch like this is where I would spend a lot of time. Now, I would say on this street is a little bit busier. 79th is going right through, so you're gonna get some more traffic than a lot of people would like, but you can see right there, Ward Parkway is really, really busy. So at least you're a little bit farther away from that. However, what I'm gonna show you is the character of some of these homes are absolutely magnificent. So as you come in, you can see that you come into a pretty good size living room area. And what I like is most of these homes in the Waldo neighborhood have these beautiful wood floors. And if you move into one of these homes, you do not want to cover these up with like luxury vinyl or carpet. Again, if you move into this home, it's yours to do with what you want, but I would preserve the charm of these older homes. They also have this built-in shelving unit, which I think is really classy. Honestly, I think it's really well done, provides a really nice accent to this home, especially the only thing I would do differently is I'd put like the under cabinet lights and really make it pop, especially at night. And then you've got an old classic fireplace. Wood burning probably doesn't work anymore. Most of the wood burning fireplaces in Kansas City don't work, or at least the owner hasn't used them for quite a long time. I can say that because I show a lot of houses with wood burning fireplaces, and a lot of them the owner says we've never used them, they don't work. Coming through here, you've got this kitchen dining room combo. So dining room is going to be right here, and actually is pretty sizable. You could put a good sized dining room table here if you wanted to. And then the kitchen is in the case of a lot of these older homes, quite a bit smaller. Now, with these older homes, you're going to see later in the video, we're going to see a home that was completely rebuilt in the Waldo neighborhood, and a lot of those kitchens are way bigger, more open concept. But if you have something that's more classic like this is typically what you can expect. This kitchen does have nice touches though, granite countertops, pretty decent cabinets. You would expect the cabinets of this home to be right in the price point that's correct. So it's well lit, it's pretty nice. I mean, you've got your gas range. It's really gonna be a little bit limited on space though. So that's gonna be up to you whether or not you want to get something bigger or not. Waldo's not for everybody, but we love it. We don't live in the Waldo neighborhood. We live right outside the Waldo neighborhood in a neighborhood called Blue Hills. Our home has a lot of these similar elements, and we love our home, we love our neighborhood. You got plenty of storage, and you've got your fridge. I do want to show you the basement. In these houses, if we can, we're going to go into the basement because I think you do need to know some of the common issues that can happen with a basement of a house that's 100 years old. Let's go downstairs. So this house has a stone foundation. One of the things that you're gonna wanna know about these foundations is that it's basically just stone, mortar, and then plaster over the top of it. So you can see with these are called I-beams, and these are placed here in order to reinforce the foundation and to keep it from bowing in. And what has happened is over time with the soil pressure has built up against this foundation wall and slowly pushed it in. And these I-beams are here to make sure that this foundation wall doesn't collapse in against itself. You can see this crack is forming right here. And then here's another worrisome thing. You can see that there is water kind of seeping through right underneath. There's no other source for this water to be coming than groundwater. It has rained in the past few days, and it's always a good time to see houses after a rain, specifically because then you could see the groundwater issues and the water issues that you might not have been aware of if you saw it when it was completely bone dry. Over here though, you do have a lot of storage. You've got a plumbing stack. Part of this has been replaced, part of it has not. And then through this, you've got your washer dryer. It's elevated just a little bit. So unfortunately, if you don't like these basements downstairs, the downstairs of these basements, a lot of times your washer and dryer is going to be located down here. That is one thing that my wife Emily doesn't love about going down into the basement. There are spiders, there are these big, really nasty looking cricket things that are downstairs. And another question that's commonly asked is, can you finish out some of these basements? You can, but it typically ends up looking like this. It's not the greatest, okay? It's just pretty rough, but you can. I mean, you could do it better than this, obviously, but I would not recommend finishing out a stone basement unless you had a big budget to make it really, really nice. And even then, I only have seen maybe a handful, and I've shown quite a few houses in this neighborhood. I've only seen a handful that were like, hey, that's really, really well done. So that's just something for you to consider. If you want to finish out one of these basements, you certainly can invest the money, but personally, I wouldn't. I have a basement just like this. It doesn't have some of the structural issues that this one has, but I will never finish out that basement. So back in the dining room, and you can see there's a closet right off this dining room. And what's kind of interesting is that maybe at one point these were stairs, I don't know. With these old houses, you got a lot of quirks, but you've certainly got some ample storage here. The reason that this is built like this too is because this is over the stairwell that leads to the basement. Now come into these rooms, and you've got ample sized rooms, only 2 on this level. But one thing that you're gonna wanna know about houses that are 100 years old is if you have a lot of clothes. Well, these houses have limited closet space. They don't make these huge walk-in closets that these modern houses have. They didn't make them like that. So you can check right here. I mean, I would say this is pretty standard closet space for a 100-year-old home. I mean, you go ahead and peek on either side. That's about how much closet space that we have in our Blue Hills 100-year-old home. And for the most part, you know, it's really up to you if you need more. This is probably the back side of the bathroom. We have exactly kind of the same thing for our bathroom, so you can access the pipes behind there. And then if you come to the middle, there's 2 bedrooms on this level, and then there's actually a really well done bathroom right in the middle. So you can see that the bathroom has a good blend of modern touches and vintage charm. The vintage charm, I would say, comes from the floor. It's tiled in a very kind of vintage way. And then you've also got the tile all throughout. The shower is really nice. You can see the rainfall shower head, the gold fixtures. I think that does look really nice. So you've got this one nice bathroom. And of course, it's only one, so you're gonna have to be okay with just that one. Through here, you've got, this is your linens closet. About the same size as the linens closet that I have at home, just the one. And then you come in through here with this bedroom, and this bedroom is slightly smaller than the other, so the smaller would be your primary, this would be your secondary. Full-size bed, maybe queen-size bed is going to be what goes in here. You've got nice floors, and then of course you've got your closet over here as well. Again, going back to the whole theme of limited closet space, you're not gonna have that much. So you're just gonna have to get by. If you don't have kids, or you're not gonna use this bedroom for anything else, I've seen people just turn a whole bedroom into their closet. That's part of the thing that you have to do to mitigate living in the Waldo neighborhood. Now let's go through the breezeway and we'll show you the garage. Many of these houses do not have a garage. This one does. It's right behind me and through this breezeway. We're not gonna see that one just yet, but we're gonna go look into the backyard. So a lot of these backyards, they're very close together. You can see that you've got, your neighbor is literally right here. You peek over and they're right in your backyard. But you do have this nice usable space that is very, very peaceful. I think right here is an apartment complex, so you're gonna have to decide if you want to live right next to an apartment complex. You do have some windows that can see into your backyard, but for the most part, this is a really nice peaceful space. You've got these garden beds, you've got a fire pit. I mean, really, what more could you want? Also, with these garden beds too, I mean, this is nothing compared to that first house that we started at. So if you keep on watching, I'll show you some of the most awesome garden setup on the Waldo market right now. So this house is on the market right now for $250,000, right in the heart of the West Waldo neighborhood. Now we are gonna go see something much, much newer. Let's go. So we saw an older home in the Waldo neighborhood. This one behind me is much, much newer, and it's pretty unique with all the charm of the Waldo neighborhood. So you can see behind me is this kind of raised ranch style home, and it's really cool inside. You're gonna wanna come with me to check it out. So immediately as we come inside, you've got this really large living area that does connect immediately down to the basement. What I like about this is it's not only a welcoming area to come home into, but there's also area to access the basement, which is actually really big. It's the whole footprint of the house and has a ton of stuff down there to do, including extra rooms. There's only 2 rooms up here, but there's plenty of room in the basement for you to expand, and the backyard is pretty cool too. Now, I'm not gonna tell you the price until the very end of this tour, so make sure you stick around, but I'll give you a hint. Under $350,000. So you're not paying that much more than compared to the last one. Off to this side, you've got the kitchen. Off to this side, you've got the dining area. And then through here, you've got the bedrooms. We're gonna save the kitchen for a little bit because I think it's really unique, but come through here and you've got 2 sizable bedrooms along with this hallway. One neat feature, remember I said Waldo homes are kind of quirky, kind of old. Look at this laundry chute. This is pretty cool. One of the cooler laundry chutes that I've seen. So you throw your laundry in there and then you've got your laundry waiting for you in your basement when you go and do laundry. When you come through here, this is the primary bedroom, plenty big. Again, these Waldo homes, many of them have much smaller, as we already saw, much smaller bedrooms. This one is massive. This one is a bedroom of a much newer home. Of course, this home is much newer than the other ones that we've already seen on this tour. And then behind you, right there, you can also see you've got a half bathroom. So you've got all the convenience of all the fun and quirkiness of living in the Waldo neighborhood, but all the convenience of modern amenities in this one. Come through here, down the hall. Through here, you've got this bathroom that services this extra secondary bedroom. And then down the hall, you've got another sizable bedroom. This one has a wardrobe to make things just a little bit bigger. And then this is a queen size bed, so you can see about how much room you'd be getting. All right, coming through here, one of the things that I like about this one is this dining area is really cool. You've got the shiplap up there. You've got the built-in cabinets on either side with the hanging wine glass rack there too. And you've got a pretty big table that seats 4. Maybe you could squeeze in another 2 on the other side to make it seat 6. Plenty of room for this dining room. And then, if you don't know what this is becoming more and more popular because this is what's called a mini split. This is local air conditioning, one step up from your window unit, but definitely a step down from central air that goes all throughout the house. So here you've got this mini split. On the outside, it does have a condenser and brings in cold air to heat or cool this area. And then of course, you've got your really cool, more modern kitchen. You can see they put this in. I don't know if this is actually secured to the floor. I actually don't think it is. This is a really cool piece though. But again, when you're buying real estate, you're only buying the stuff that's affixed to the property. So this may or may not stay. If you do want something like this to stay, if you walk through and you said, oh, I really love that dining room table, or I really love that kitchen countertop, well, you need to write it into the real estate contract. In fact, that's what our team specializes in, is not missing details like that. 816-4-MOVE-KC is the best way to get a hold of us. Give us a call, shoot us a text. We would love to help you buy your Kansas City home. Another thing that you can do to help our channel is to like this video and subscribe to our content, because we make content like this every week, helping you relocate to Kansas City. Let's go outside and we're gonna see a really nice secluded Waldo backyard. As we come out here, it's really not super hot right now, but you can see the sun is beginning to come through during these beautiful spring days, but this deck is really nice. You've got plenty of room, like they have it laid out where you have the tables, you've got the barbecue. I mean, it's just a really great place to spend some time. And then you've got plenty of privacy down here because of all the trees that are surrounding you. And you've got this fire pit, which is an incredible feature. I love my fire pit, use that all the time. You've got gardening beds. If you have to stay in kind of Waldo proper, there's really not much else to do besides some other places that we're gonna go show you. But there are a lot of people who kind of gather together to do a lot of different events, including gardening events, outdoor events. There's a big community feel here in Waldo. Let's go down into the basement. There's 2 entrances to the basement, like I said before. One's through this garage, and then we're gonna come back up outside, right near the door, right near the main entrance. But you can also see this corkboard, pretty useful for tacking stuff onto, reminders, calendars, all of that stuff. So let's go downstairs. Now you can see it's a pretty sizable garage, easily fit 2 cars in here. This would be where we parked if we lived in this house. And this garage is honestly probably way nicer than a lot of Waldo garages. Let's go downstairs. So this basement I would consider like semi-finished. It's not really fully finished. Let's go see what we've got over here. First, you've got a non-conforming bedroom. And honestly, it'd be pretty nice to sleep down here because it's gonna be very, very cool. It's not gonna be hot at all. But there is no closet and there's no egress. So you can't count this as a bedroom, which is why you do have to be very careful. Sometimes when you read a listing and it says 3 bedrooms or 4 bedrooms, you gotta be careful that they're not including non-conforming bedrooms like this one. Let's go into the second non-conforming bedroom, which they're kind of using as a study, as it were, but you can easily fit a queen size bed in here. But again, non-conforming bedroom. You got this portion where you're going to be doing your laundry, you're gonna have most of your components that run the house, and you're gonna have most of your storage. And then, not to miss, remember we saw that laundry chute upstairs? This is exactly where it comes out. So you'd put your hamper right here, you'd have your clothes drop right in here, and then take them right over to your washer dryer and do your laundry. Now, like I said, there's a lot of extra features to this basement, including a full bar. So if you wanted to gather some of your friends together, this is a really sweet spot. You've got a full bar right here. You got the TV in the background. It doesn't have a sink, but it has places where you can put more drink fridge or really whatever you want down here. So this is a great place to gather together, to enjoy the game, to enjoy a movie. I don't know, really kind of make it your own space. There's enough space in here too. You could put a pool table. You've got this kind of cubicle seating in the corner. And then what's a nice feature is you actually have a full bathroom right off this living area. So let's go upstairs. I'll tell you the price, but I'll show you where this kind of twisting staircase leads right out to. If you come right through here and you don't want to go to the basement through the garage, you don't necessarily have to because you're back in your nice living space. Now, this house is on the market right now for $330,000. It could be all yours. Don't wait. Call our team 816-4MOVE-KC or send us an email. Get a hold of us and we would love to help you get this house. So this is kind of the epicenter of the Waldo neighborhood. You've got, this is called the Waldo Walk of Fame. A bunch of names, not sure what they did. Don't know why they made it on the Walk of Fame, but this is the intersection of Warnell Road and 75th, I'm sorry. And over here, you've got tons of stores. Aldi, if you don't know what Aldi is, you need to shop at Aldi when you move here because Aldi is gonna be much cheaper than your Price Chopper, than your Hy-Vee or anything like that. That Bridgestone tire, I used to get I got some tires from here. The Taj Mahal, there's some Indian cuisine here. You've got your CVS behind me. You've got Pickleman subs. A little bit down, you got Boru. Emily and I had some pretty decent Asian food over at Boru. You have a couple other places that, what's that, South of Summit? You got another place called South of Summit that is right next to Boru. Crow's Coffee, there's plenty of areas to do stuff here. But like I said, this is about it for what the Waldo particular neighborhood has to offer. If you want to look at some other places that you can do some stuff, you're not very far from Brookside. In fact, you could walk to Brookside and you could easily be out there. You're 10 minutes away from Country Club Plaza. We've covered all of those areas in our video. But again, stay tuned and we're gonna get back to what makes the Waldo neighborhood very unique are these kind of Tudor, beautiful style homes, and we're gonna head back there right now. We are back at that first home in the West Waldo neighborhood, and before I show you this beautiful Tudor home, I want to show you a couple of things that are characteristics of these Waldo neighborhoods. Number one, no sidewalks. It's a little bit hard to walk here because you don't have sidewalks. I just had a couple that moved from Waldo to Overland Park and they really enjoy the fact that they now have sidewalks. But in Waldo, you're typically not going to get that many sidewalks. Also, number two, you see that this house right behind me, this modern, really angular looking house was probably a tear down and a complete rebuild. So that's going to be something that probably happened within the last 5 to 10 years. But in this side of Waldo, West Waldo, there's no sidewalks. You have beautiful homes like this that are just basically tear down and rebuilt. But this one, I would not tear this one down because we're back at this really cool looking Tudor house. The brick on the outside, the stone on the outside, immediately as you approach it really kind of catches your eye. You can see the angular roof, characteristic of a lot of these Tudor homes. And one of the things I want to point out to you is this is pretty rare. This has a turnaround driveway. I would love this because number one, my kids could ride all the way around this driveway if they wanted to. And number two, it's just easy to go nose out when you're pulling out. I think that's really great plus of this driveway. Could be refinished, could be redone, but it is what it is, but you're gonna have this utilization of the driveway. If you stick around to the end of this tour, I'll tell you how much this house is, and I'll show you this incredible garden they have in the back. Let's go inside. So as we come inside, this house really is a snapshot of what it once was, built over 100 years ago. There's not been that many updates, or it has been updated, but it still remains charming as the day it was built, like I said, a century ago. You've got this really massive living room. You have this porch. You can go outside and enjoy the beautiful Kansas City weather on this awesome spring day. You've got a great side yard as well. This is one of the more attractive yards that I've seen in the Waldo neighborhood. You've got so much room and so much space right off of this right here. Coming through this large living room, and you've got formal dining room right in between the living room and the kitchen. One of the things I really like about this house too is some of the old lighting. You've got the sconces on the walls that do give it a really cool accent. The chandeliers of the lighting too, I think all of it kind of ties in together and gives it this awesome old aesthetic. Come through here and we're gonna see, as you walk through, kind of a butler's pantry, probably just a regular pantry. But you've got storage on this side, you've got more storage on this side. This could be your china cabinet. One thing I do want to point out, with these homes being 100 years old, if you look at these outlets, you can see that they're missing a ground. So there's only 2 prongs on that. You know that that outlet is not grounded. You could always switch it out to fit a 3-pronged receptor, but some electrical work typically does need to be done on these houses. Now, if you come into here, you also notice with this one, some kitchen works needs to be done as well, because this is the original kitchen. I would say for all how nice this house is, this is probably the weakest part of the house. You've got some tile here that's cracked and a little bit older. You don't have the best storage. Honestly, what I would probably do if I bought this house is I would combine that butler's pantry that you were just in and this kitchen, and I would just make it a bigger kitchen, because you do need a little bit more room in this kitchen, especially if you like to cook and you want to spend a lot of time in the kitchen. If not, then just some new cabinets, some new countertops would go a long way. As we walk through here, again, we're gonna save the backyard for last, or the back and the side yard for last, but I do wanna show you what a Waldo basement looks like, because if you're new to Kansas City and houses that are over 100 years old, then you may not have seen what a 100-year-old basement looks like. So let's go downstairs. These 100-year-old basements are typically stone foundations. We also live in a stone foundation as well. And what this is, it's just basically stone, mortar, and then plaster over the top of it. I'll just be honest with you, being straightforward, this is actually in pretty good condition for a stone foundation. I don't see too many big cracks, too much bowing or shifting. Mold is also an issue that you kind of want to be aware of down here. You've got your HVAC system, and then you can see on this other side, man, they're probably never getting this out, but this is a weight set that they use this for obviously working out. Now, I guess, you know, I didn't see this over here, but come over here. There is an easier way to get this out, because you do have your garage. So there is an attached garage, and you kind of pull in from the side, and then you probably back your car right in here. So that would be an easy way to access this area. But what I would say is, you know, this is a very typical garage, and a lot of people want to ask, can I finish out this garage? Can I put some drywall up? Can I put some sheetrock up? Well, you can, but I've seen very few instances where it's done really well and where it lasts for a really long time, because these basements sometimes can get some water in it. Again, that's why you want to give us a call if you're buying a house, especially an older house in these areas, because our agents know what to look for. 816-4MOVE-KC is the number. We can walk you through these houses and kind of point out problem areas of concern so that you don't get into something that you don't want to be in. Let's go back upstairs. Let's explore the rest of the house. Back upstairs near the kitchen, you have your first bedroom on this level, on the main level, right off of the kitchen. So that is definitely a little bit quirky, but you've got beautiful wood floors in this house throughout. This room is plenty big. This is probably bigger than our bedrooms of the house that we have at home just right down the street. It's gonna easily fit a king size, queen size bed. You've got a pretty large closet. And what I really like about this one is these doors are really beautiful, really good looking. doors that I think match the aesthetic of these homes. Now, if you buy one of these homes, please don't paint the trim. I mean, honestly, I think these houses look so good when you preserve the original wood trim that it came with. But again, that's up to you. Come through here and you can see this bathroom is definitely a vintage bathroom. Now, whether or not you like this, I've met clients that really do like this aesthetic of bathroom. It's really up to you. You've got the tile, it's not quite herringbone, but it's tiled it's tiled basically everywhere, right? So you're gonna have to be the one to decide, do you like this bathroom or do you switch it out? Because it is pretty old, it is kind of outdated. Let's go to bedroom number 2 on the main level. And this bedroom is much, much smaller. So you're gonna have a hard time maybe fitting something bigger than full-size bed in here. I would say queen probably could fit, but it's gonna feel kind of tight. And the closets are not nearly as big as the other one. Now, as we head downstairs, there are some quirky things about this house. So first thing is, I think this was like intended as a laundry chute. So if you need to throw some of your dirty laundry down there so that it ends up downstairs where your laundry is, that's one way of doing it. The quirkiness of the room upstairs is this bedroom up here is built kind of on the same level as the attic. So we're gonna also see the attic as well. Come on. Now you can see this attic is probably what they designated as the primary bedroom. They also have a big closet and primary bathroom right off the primary. And I'll show you that in a little bit, but it's plenty big. I mean, it's probably 20 by 20, and this is a queen size bed with room for going even bigger than that. Now, as we go through here, you're gonna see right on this side, this is the primary closet. So you walk in and there's ample closet space there. Now, you might say that's not considered ample closet space to me. Well, if you're looking at like new builds in like Overland Park or Olathe or Liberty or somewhere like that, you're right. There's nothing quite like that with a 100-year-old home. They didn't really worry too much about closet space back then, but this is a pretty big, decent sized closet for a home in Waldo. Now, here you've got your shower. And then of course you've got your toilet and sink through here. So this is really nice because it's a private in-suite. You know, we live in a house very similar age and we don't have just a private bathroom. One thing that we do kind of wish that we have a bathroom we only have one bathroom that our whole house shares. So this one has 2 fulls. It's pretty good for this neighborhood. Let me show you the attic and then we're gonna go outside to this awesome yard and garden. So this is pretty cool. This is the attic. More storage space in here than I would know what to deal with. But the cool thing about this is we have an attic space that's kind of similar to this. It used to be kind of similar to this and we completely finished it out recently. And our kids just they love playing in this area. Now, I know this one is right off the, primary bedroom. I don't know how you would necessarily do it, but you have plenty of space here. I've seen a lot of these finished off into closets, turned into like a walk-in closet. But I will tell you, whatever you do with this area, temperature control is going to be a big deal because it is very hot in this room here. And it's also going to be very hot in the primary bedroom on the other side because just with these older homes, the ducting systems aren't necessarily as good. The HVAC systems can't move air as efficiently as you would necessarily like them. So this is going to be a space probably best used for just storage, but if you did want to finish this out and make this into something else, you certainly could. Okay, let's head outside and I'm going to show you what I mean by a really nice yard and a really nice garden. When we moved from Gladstone, we had a really big yard and our kids, of course, like all kids, really enjoyed running around, playing in that yard, having a great time. And one of the things when we decided to make the decision to move down near to this neighborhood in South Kansas City in Waldo was we kind of lamented the fact that as I was showing houses out here, there's not much of a yard, but you can see this side, doesn't have that big of a yard. It's not going to be horrible. It's probably a, 8,000 square foot lot compared to like we were coming from like one that was double that, 15,000 square feet. But with this one, the rare thing about this one is you've got this side lot that's huge. So you've got this fantastic garden. Of course, it's a little bit overrun right now. It's not being maintained, but I bet you once the new owner lives in here, this is going to be just a really cool place for you to plant whatever you want. And then you've got all of this awesome side yard all the way down to the street. This is a double lot And once in a while, you can occasionally find these double lots down in these neighborhoods where it's just, you know, doubly wide and you can do whatever you want with this side. In fact, this is probably big enough that I might consider getting a very, very small like riding lawnmower just to make this go a little bit quicker. It's not massive by any means, it's not like acreage, but all of this is really cool for this neighborhood, which is why I wanted to show it to you. Now, you might be guessing, hey, this is gonna cost quite a bit. Actually, no. This house is on the market right now for $390,000 in the Waldo neighborhood. Now, maybe you think Waldo's not for you. Let's go and check out this neighborhood together.